Disaster management teams were on the ground yesterday trying to ascertain what's happening there in the Penal area. Now the rains, of course, started from since Monday. It didn't let off at all yesterday, Tuesday. And because of that, 1,000 homes, 1,000 homes, and 25 businesses would have been impacted. Let's bring in the chairman of the Penal Debe Regional Corporation, Gowtam Maharaj. He's on the phone line to give us the latest. Mr. Maharaj, thank you for the time.
Hi, good morning. You're welcome.
Walk me through what's happening, at least in terms of the cleanup campaign, what's in store for today, and indeed, if the numbers remain the same concerning this 1,000 homes and 25 businesses. The numbers, is it past that at this point in time when you did your last assessment up to late last evening?
Those numbers hold. There were 1,000 homes that were affected. Approximately 1,500 workers could not leave to go to their workplaces. Yes, and 25 to 28 business places were closed, including 2 doctors that operate in that area. They have their practice on that main road, the Rock Road, the Penal Rock Road main road, and the 5 Mile area, to be specific. And the pharmacy there was closed also. The Penal Rock Road Health Center was also closed. So one can imagine the amount of discomfort and would have really been experienced by the persons of that area seeking medical attention and all of that. So yes, that has been so. What we have observed is that this area, this particular flooding had been isolated to this Rock Road area. So it was not a general region flooding, and therefore we will be putting specific focus. Well, we have already placed focus prior to now because we are aware of the phenomenon there with flooding, and therefore I have some news to share with the public in terms of infrastructure development to expect very soon. In fact, by end of this month, these works will begin, and I will share that news. In Calito Trace, Mon Diablo, we will do 120 meters of box drain. That's to the value of 300,000. Nagesa Trace, that is where that trace turns into a river. During this type of experience, 100 meters of box drain, 300,000 there. Simongal Trace, an investment of 200,000, 100 meters of box drain. Goodman Trace, 300,000 investment, 120 meters of box drain. But this would solve some of the problems in the traces, but the issue there is getting that water out where the main road turns into a river. So we will need to engage the Ministry of Works, which really has the larger rivers, like such as the Koromata River, as its jurisdiction, and look at some engineering solutions with regards to the river that runs next to the Hanuman Milan Temple, the QP River. That the mouth of that, the outfall of that, is higher than the inflow. So that is one problem that causes that water to spill onto the main road. And therefore we'll need some help there, some collaboration with the Ministry of Work.
Okay. So what I must say, Chairman, I'm watching this story and I'm seeing a couple of residents talking about some 18-inch pipe that apparently was installed. They're saying it can't accommodate all the water that's coming through. What's the scenario with that particular 18-inch pipe?
That 18-inch pipe being referred to is where the Bailey bridges are being worked on. There are 2 Bailey bridges. This is in the Barakpo area. The resident has commented on that. Randy Ramtahal commented in relation to the construction of the new bridge. The old bridge had collapsed. This is at the Karat Hill Junction, just after number 2 junction in Barakpo. His point is that they are fearful that that work will not be completed as the advertised date of August 26th. In his claim there, he said that the piles, he has information that the piles have failed, and therefore the reason for that claim. But the 18-inch pipe, meaning that, where you dam a river and you get the water out on the other side, his claim is that is insufficient. So that is on the main road, that is the main thoroughfare out of Barakpo. Bailey Bridge is being used at this point in time, but the consequence is a lot of traffic when the school reopens. So that is the concern with that. And similarly, in the Monkey Tongue area, there's a Bailey Bridge that is being used for traffic, and the bridge itself is being constructed. As work is progressing there, currently by the Ministry of Works. The contractor there is Junior Sammy. Yesterday when we passed during our tour, there were people working in the river. So the question really that the resident would have made is whether or not those two areas will be ready for the school reopening.
Let me ask you, Chairman Maharaj, is this area flood prone, or is it just the weather event was so severe that no matter what was in place, it would not have been able to really, to catch all the water?
One, these areas are flood prone areas. Yes, Paraco is flood prone, Rock Road is flood prone, but the rainfall was not to say days of rainfall. That was some rainfall, maybe a couple hours in the night, and therefore it really should receive the attention of all in terms of the ministries and ourselves as the corporation, because I would say it is a bit abnormal that even with just those couple hours of rainfall, this place could have gone underwater to that extent. And that is why we will need the collaboration of the Ministry of Works, which has, a larger engineering department and capability in terms of that area. Whether or not they have the resources is the question, because we have raised it before. We have the regional coordinating meeting where we meet with the agencies. And let's take, for example, Ministry of Agriculture, which I'd like to make a point that the larger rivers, the larger water channels are not owned by the PDRC. They are owned by either Ministry of Works, is a very important point, or Ministry of Agriculture in terms of asset vesting. Asset vesting is a legal process. So those assets are theirs, but we work together on them. Let's take an example why I'm saying it needs the attention of all. The Ministry of Agriculture has a 210G excavator, which is a large excavator, sitting in its yard, unable to get out into the field and do work because it's awaiting parts, it's awaiting an assessment for mechanical repairs. It's a fairly new excavator. And this would sound very simple, that an excavator is sitting there. But it's really, these are the things that we need out in the field for real life solutions and resolution. So I am making a call, and if it was not known before, if similar to when I made the dengue call and said that the St. Patrick division of the IDCD is lacking vehicles, thereafter 2 vehicles were assigned. So it means that somebody listened. And so too, I'm making, creating the awareness that, look, there is a piece of equipment, because we are starved for large excavators. The Ministry of Local Government has one, which it has to share throughout all of the corporations. We got it for 3 to 5 day period, and then a second stint of 5 to 9 days. But in a region like ours, where 60% of the region sits in the South Oropouche River Basin, one could well imagine the need for such type of equipment. We do have a small excavators, but they can only do the smaller channels, the smaller roadside.
I mean, obviously, the bigger machinery will do the bigger work. I want to tell you, Mr. Maharaj, thanks for coming on this morning, sharing with us the developments, working hard day and night on the ground to bring relief to your burgesses. Keep us posted, and I trust with some of the work that you mentioned that will be done, we hope and trust it could bring an ease to our residents there in Penal and environs. All the best.
Thank you very much. Take care.
All right, Chairman Maharaj, Gowtam Maharaj, Chairman of the Penal Debe Regional Corporation. When we come back, we will get a quick phone-in with the Minister of National Security to give us an update on some of the developments coming out of that walkabout in Tobago. We'll hear from the Minister of National Security next.